Ice, ice, baby. Du, 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 du. Du, 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 du. Copyright problems. Du, 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 du. Du, 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 du. Hey guys, welcome to Frame Chasers, the place where we test cool shit. So I just got in the mail the, you can kind of see it, EK Quantum X Delta TEC Copper plus Nickel. Because cool sounding names make it a better product. There's not enough X's though. So I just got this in the mail. I might be one of the first people that actually has one. Let's unbox it together, see what comes in this thing, and maybe if I have time, I'll throw it into the rig upstairs just to do like a preliminary kind of thing on it. Maybe I'll do it. I'll move the camera down 1 second here. There we go. All right, move this out of the way. What do we got here? Open. Man, you gotta hand it to EK and Intel. This is a really nice box. I just love like just the straight black, no frills, no colors. It's pretty sweet. You got like Intel boxing in general is so sick. Like the 9900K box, 10900K box. Okay. Bracket, thermal paste. Oh, mounting mechanism. All right, okay. Check. Foam pad. I would assume this goes on the back. Do not forget other EK products. Okay, I don't care. Cool. Foam, cool. I guess this is it. Looks like this is it. Come on. Holy crap, this is heavy. What the hell? It's like no lighter than an old air cooler. Oh, I see. Okay. So this is kind of it actually goes through the cable, so you can't take it off. You have to I guess you're not supposed to take it off. I guess you just leave this on forever. Huh. For condensation, I suppose? Okay. Peel this off. That does look really nice. That's a nice looking piece right there, EK. Well done. Nice looking piece. Yeah, so I guess you can't really take this rubber grommet off unless you slide the cables through it. I don't know why you would do that though. I guess just leave it on. You can see the tech in there actually. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. And it looks like it's actually thermal pasted on both sides and sandwiched in there. I wonder if these screws are loose at all. I'm gonna go over them and tighten them later, but yeah, it looks like it comes pre-assembled, so no dicking around. It is copper though, so I'm not gonna be using liquid metal on this right away. Gonna give just regular cryonaut a shot first. I wonder why they have it labeled as nickel when it's all copper. I guess just the top. Okay, what else we got in here? I guess this is the controller. I'm definitely they have it in the ad where like you put it like this. That seems ugly as shit to me. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put this somewhere else. Maybe behind the case so you can't see it. And a cable. No instructions. So I'm gonna guess again to go on their website for the instructions. But what kind of connector does this have? Okay, so this must be the tech power itself. 8-pin and yeah, okay, got it. Who needs instructions? Who needs instructions? 8-pin. I'm assuming positive, negative here. Power the actual. Oh, here we go, and the USB. Got it. Gotcha. Maybe don't gotcha. There we go. Okay. So, USB into the motherboard, controls it. 8-pin here. So I'm gonna put this in the back of the case. I don't know why. The cables are definitely long enough where you don't have to oh, and I guess this is the temperature sensor here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the cables are more than long enough where you don't actually have to mount this on top. That would be ugly as shit. Probably just take these out all together, these two screws. Wow, these things are really deep. Haha, that's what she said. Yeah, it looks really nice. Just keep this away and just use this as your block. It looks really nice. Yeah, no need for this weird gizmo. Huh. Okay, well that's pretty much it. Not much to it. USB, power, 8-pin. It says PCI Express. So do not use the CPU 8-pin, I would assume. And yeah, I guess that's it. Well, that's pretty much the whole unboxing. You know what? Let's throw this upstairs. Let's see what this thing. Let's see what this thing's got. I'm just lapping my CPU quickly, and hot damn, these Intel IHSs though. Look at that groove. Look at that. All right, there we go. Since I'm not using liquid metal on these things, I want both surfaces to make perfect contact, right? Okay, I'm about halfway there now. You got the 4 prongs in there, lapped CPU. Now for the back, do yourself a favor and do this with the motherboard out, but I installed the, in the instructions it says to put in this kind of foam pad to prevent condensation behind the CPU socket, and they give you 2 pads, one for like sub-ambient and one for regular. I'm just gonna use the big one, just the sub-ambient one. I'd like, whatever, why would you bother using the small one? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, I think we're ready. Wow, that is a really nice piece, I must say. Look how big that thing is. It actually makes it look like it's X299. Like, way bigger than it actually is. That is really nice. I'm super happy with that. Why would they put the USB cable coming out from the front like this? That's... What the hell is that? Okay. This is literally unmountable in the front. If you care about aesthetics at all, you cannot mount this to the front. Another problem I can see, I mean, look at the cables come out on the right here from the TEC. And I haven't even put in the second RAM slot yet. So I don't know what they can actually do about that because the TEC is so big, but maybe have it come out from the top instead, or like maybe when I redo my whole build, I might like take the whole TEC apart and like maybe change it to come out from the bottom here. Like, I don't know, but having it come out on the right to the RAM slots is a huge mistake here, especially on the Apex. Okay, we are in first boot here. I left the BIOS on stock except for XMP. Just move this down here. And all I did so far was just flash the BIOS to the latest version. You have to flash the BIOS to make it actually TEC compatible, right? So let's try installing this app here. Okay, yeah, I got the driver from the EK website, but check this out. ARM64. Oh shit, foreshadow. We're getting ARM chips soon, boys. Update, browse, desktop, new folder 2. Next, there we go. Okay. Now let's try installing the app. Oh shit, look at this. Wait, where's my IDA? I want to see those temps drop. Install. Okay. I think I installed everything correctly. This seems to be the same idle, Yes, yes, yes. Cooler is in standby mode. Okay. How do I make it not standby mode? Is this it? There's no GUI? Cooler in standby mode. Dew point 11.6C. Cooler temp. Mode. Cryo. Cryo mode. Success. Okay, the light on the thing is green. Oh, man! Holy shit! That is quick! Huh. Does it say the power draw here? Power 15 watts. Dew point. Cooler temp. Okay, so 12 watts. So is that it? Like, is that like dew point 11.6? So I guess it must cooler temp. Oh, I see. So it actually keeps the cooler temperature a few degrees above the dew point. And then I guess whatever power draw it needs to do it does it. So let's do a little stress test here, see what happens. CPU ID. Keep in mind this is still stock. So we're at 40, okay, 53 watts, 82 watts. 114 watts on the tech. 129. This is a really easy stress test too. We're only pulling, see, this is the problem with the tech. We're only, holy shit, stop updating. We're only pulling 93 watts from the oh my Jesus Murphy. Ida, you gotta fix that shit. Okay. So we're only pulling 92 watts. And we're using, okay, so it's like a 1-to-1 ratio almost. It's a little bit more, 120 watts. Dew point. Okay. So this is the first time I'm using this, guys, so just bear with me here. 120 watts. Let's crank this up a bit. CPU package. So it's keeping it. This is kind of what a game would be using anyway, like 90, 100-ish watts in a game, right? And it's keeping it in like the 30s. That's pretty good. Stock 4.9 gigahertz. Let's do FPU. This should smash it pretty good. Start. So now we're using 177 watts on the CPU. 162 watts on the tech. I wonder if it'll actually keep it cool. Oh, cooler temp is going up here. I see. Okay. This is pretty cool. You would never use an FPU workload in a game anyway, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, see? This isn't really any... We already knew this was kind of going to happen, but this isn't actually any cooler than a regular loop. In an FPU workload, keep in mind. But yeah, this is not any cooler at all. So I'm essentially just wasting power for absolutely nothing here in an FPU workload. So, yeah. Pretty much as theorized, it's not gonna... Let's try unregulated. Just crank that shit. How much power is it gonna draw? Still a 167. Nah, it's not even dropping the cooler temp. That's useless. Okay, so let's see what happens in standby mode, actually. Standby. Oh, look at that. So it actually was doing something. Well, hang on, I'm gonna turn this off. No, I mean this thing doesn't work very well as a standalone cooler. You kind of have to have it in cryo mode. So if you are gonna be using this thing for anything but gaming, definitely not recommended. Okay, so I've run into a really interesting problem. I have to actually install XTU because I can't actually boot into Windows with 5.4 gigahertz. The reason is you can't actually turn the tech on before you get into Windows. So if I set the voltage too high at 5.4 gigahertz, it's actually worse. Like, I'll show you here when it boots up. It's actually worse than my old CPU block with liquid metal on it, because while it's loading Windows and all the startup apps, it'll actually just start pegging 95 Celsius and then just crash, right? Because without the actual tech turned on, the cooling performance of this thing is garbage, right? So what you actually have to do is, like, set it to stock, I guess, in the BIOS, load into Windows, then set your overclocking profile. Like, check this out. We just booted. Watch my temperatures as the apps load. And it's in standby mode right now. So check this out. Let's wait for it. Apps are loading. Discord, Adobe. It's all gonna start hammering it. So this is at 5.2 gigahertz, right? I can't turn the tech on like this. 90. So yeah, you have to actually leave your BIOS stock except for your RAM speeds, and then set your overclock profile in XTU while the tech is on. I might actually go back to liquid metal because I don't want to use XTU. This sucks, but that was a really weird problem that I came across. But let's do this and see what happens. All right, 5.5 gigahertz, baby. 260 FPS. 61 Celsius. 55. I don't know. I am at 5.5. 70, 60, 73, 60. I don't know how I feel about this. 60, 61, 62. It's struggling. The tech is struggling right now. Huh. 75, 77. I'm pretty sure 80. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. Okay, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna be finishing this video up on Notepad just because there's so many things to talk about with this thing. I mean, I had to actually write it all down on Notepad to go over the points. In terms of, so I've been playing with this for almost a day now, and just don't buy it. Just okay. This product is just cool. It's cool, but in terms of actual performance, it's a complete nightmare to get working properly. Unless you're like an expert, you're not going to get this working properly at all. It's going to be a disaster for you. And even then, the weird thing is, anyone who has enough experience to get this working, they would probably just go liquid metal and direct die anyway. Okay, so in terms of the performance, point number one, it's pretty much, so what I was using before was just a regular CPU block, a Corsair one with liquid metal on it on the IHS. So I went from 5.4 with that to 5.5. So I got a 100 megahertz bump. Or at 5.4 gigahertz, or at the same clock speed I was at before, I got 10 to 15 Celsius drop. Also keep in mind I did lap my CPU so the mating surfaces are essentially flat together, which is probably optimal for this kind of a product. Not viable without extreme radiator setup. So essentially you have to pump an extra 200 watts of heat into your loop to get 100 megahertz. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no. I would rather Intel just put a 10 core Rocket Lake out instead of this thing. So like I would rather use an extra 200 watts of power budget into my loop. I would rather have more cores, more IPC and more cores. You can deal with the heat through a regular loop, but you don't need this Cryo TEC shit, right? Yeah, very weird. There's a lot better ways to spend a 200 watt power budget, architecturally and like engineering wise. You know what I mean? You don't have to. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Engineering fails now. Let's go through this. There's okay. This is gonna be a big one. Cannot be enabled in the BIOS or on boot. This is huge. So I showed you that example there where I couldn't actually set my overclock in my BIOS because then as Windows is loading, the heat spikes would be so large that it would just blue screen and fail loading, right? How do I explain this? Like the performance with the tech turned off is abysmal. So I'm gonna type a little bit more here. So when the tech is actually turned off, the performance is so bad that you can't run the CPU stock. Let that sink in for a second. When I went into my BIOS, I loaded optimized defaults, which means thermal velocity boost would boost to 5.3 on a few cores. This was pegging my CPU at 95 Celsius when Windows was loading, when Windows was booting up. So just using this thing, like you can't use this thing like with it turned off at all. So it makes no sense that you can't turn it on in the BIOS, or you can't turn it on when you boot the computer up, but then you also can't use it without turning it on. So you have to get into Windows first to turn it on, but you can't get into Windows. It's really messed up. What I actually had to do to like make it work properly was I had to actually go into my BIOS, set auto voltage, and then lock. I set all core to 4 gigahertz, so that way the motherboard wouldn't shove so much voltage into the CPU getting into Windows. It would only use like 1.3 volts at 4 gigahertz all core. Then once I got into Windows, turned the tech on, then I could actually go into XTU and apply my overclocking profile, right? It's a shit show, huge shit show. That's why you must use XTU. Set your all-core overclock to 4 gigahertz, get into Windows, then set your XTU profile. Cable smash against, I showed this before. I'll put a picture up after. It's ridiculous. It doesn't even work. This, in order for this product to be viable, it needs an extra 50 watts of cooling power to be viable in Warzone, I want to say. This also, again, guys, this is why you can't watch mainstream tech tubers with this kind of stuff. They don't play games. They don't test gaming thoroughly enough. Like throwing it on a bench and like testing it for 5 seconds is not the same thing as actually gaming with it. Warzone is the most CPU intensive game on the market right now. This game literally pulls 200. You saw it. It pulls 200, almost 200 watts by itself in a 10900K. Just getting those frames, right? So when the tech is limited to 200 watts and Warzone is almost pulling 200 watts, the efficiency of the tech goes completely out the window. So my suggestion to EK or Intel or whoever, if they ever watch this, you need to make the standalone water block version at least 50 watts more powerful to be viable for Warzone use. The Cooler Master one with the 360 mil AIO, leave that one alone. That one's gonna be dog shit no matter what. But at least if I have like 5 radiators in here and I actually have the cooling capacity to cool the tech down, I should be able to push the wattage up in Warzone setting, if that makes sense. Yeah, other than that, like it's really on the cusp of being not viable at all compared to like direct dye or liquid metal, right? This is also why you can't watch mainstream tech tubers, because they get those products sent to them, so they can't really say like look at all the bad things about this product, you know what I mean? So having supporters buy this stuff for me and me being able to really dig into these products properly gets you the real facts, right? So the biggest pro to this product, I would say, is it doesn't void your warranty like a direct dye would. Like, you can just take your CPU, put some regular paste on it, throw the tech on it, and you're essentially getting direct dye performance without voiding your warranty. But you're paying for 200 watts of extra power pull as well. That's it. That's the conclusion pretty much of the whole thing. That's pretty much it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much to my supporters. I would have been quite pissed off if I bought this thing with my own money because of how useless it is. But my supporters really wanted me to check this thing out for them, so there you go. Thank you guys so much for just supporting the channel and letting me buy dumb shit like this. Thanks for enabling me to buy completely useless shit like this. It's a cool toy. It's a tech demo. Intel did do a really good job with the thermal management. Like, it detects temperatures on the fly and then increases the wattage of the tech up and down as you're gaming to keep the temps the same. It's cool, dude. Like, it's cool. Like, it's a cool, it's a really cool, idea. It's a good idea. This is a classic and perfect example of what happens when an engineer comes up with an idea, but the engineer isn't a gamer. So like there's too many engineering flaws when it comes to actual gaming, but the concept itself is really cool. Like it's a really cool product. Anyway, guys, thanks to all the supporters. More content to come. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button down below. Like, share, do all that YouTube SEO stuff. And Happy New Year's. And we have a hell of a lot of content to come in the new year here. I got 3 builds I gotta build. So I'll see you on Saturday. What day is it today? Yeah, oh yeah, I guess I'll see you tomorrow on Twitch. And if you have any questions about the tech, I'll do some live demoing on Twitch tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you later.